Now, I remember a story my dad and mom, or I think you told me before, that your mom wanted a girl.
I think, yeah, that was true, yeah.
Yeah. And there's pictures of you dressed up as a little girl?
Yeah, up until I was 4 years old, I had girls' hair, big bangs around. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, you see, I was an accident.
Oh, really?
If you know what an accident is.
I've heard.
So that's what happened. And, but the Lord knew best what was going on, you know.
So she just kept all the girl clothes that she had started to buy, right?
Yeah.
Just made you wear those till you got a little older.
Well, I can't remember wearing dresses, just my hair.
Yes, your hair.
She let my hair grow forward. I never got it cut. And
That's
then
funny.
I used to wear knickers. You know what knickers were?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That was my favorite outfit when I went to school.
Long socks, tights.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Knickers were big, bushy around this way, and come around their ankles and tighten down the socks. It was a sight for sore eyes.
So what was school like then? What was school like? Did they have
Well,
normal classes, Bible classes?
every day we started out with reading the Bible
Wow.
and praying before you started any classwork.
Was that a normal for just any old school?
Oh yeah, it's normal. All the schools did that. At least where I come from.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the South.
And you know, you could get in trouble if you looked at a girl wrong.
Mm.
Or you get caught with a girl, you get in trouble.
How often
Oh,
did you
yeah.
guys
No, you never did that, right?
No. But my mother tells me the story. In the first grade, I had a little girl. She was a cute little girl. And the first thing I did was give her a good kiss. And
It's just natural, isn't it?
it's natural. Yeah.
What'd your mom think of that?
Well, I got scolded for it. You're not
No
supposed
whoopings?
Not supposed to do that on the first time you see a girl.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
No, it was probably a smaller school.
Well, our classes, we had about 25 to 27 in each class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think in my graduation class there were 50.
Okay.
So you graduated. That's good to know.
I graduated.
You said earlier you played basketball.
Played basketball.
Yeah.
Bethel High School was the best team in the state of North Carolina.
Go figure.
And I was always a good shooter because I practiced at home in the barn, on the side of the barn, you know, with a goal out. And I could make free throws. Well, when I built my gym at Columbus, at nighttime I'd get out and play and shoot by myself and keep practice, you know.
Yeah, I remember you, as a kid, I do remember being in the gym, and you'd walk in every once in a while, and you'd pick up the basketball right there, the foul line,
Yeah.
and you just sink them.
Yeah.
Money. And I remember thinking, how is he doing that? And you'd walk back to your office.
Yeah. I always liked to play basketball because I grew up playing basketball. We didn't have football until the last year of school. They finally got the football team
No kidding.
going.
Wow.
But basketball was great. And we had softball, no baseball. Baseball was too hard.
Mm.
So I had softball. And I was a pitcher. I could pitch and curve the ball. And they couldn't hit it. Even when we got to Columbus in our church, we had a picnic every Memorial Day and Labor Day. And we always had the guys out, and I always pitched to them. They got mad because they couldn't hit my balls. And then the big problem is, I was batting and throwed my shoulder out. Oh boy, did it hurt and pop. And I jerked on that thing and finally got it back in.
Oof.
And I've had trouble on that shoulder ever since. Arthritis sets in and pain and so forth.
Yeah.
So I had to stop playing ball. He said, yeah, preacher, you're getting too old to play ball. I said, yeah, for right now, I'm going to have to take a rain check on that.
What was your favorite part about being a kid? What was I don't know.
My
what was
favorite part.
Your favorite part? You have anything?
I didn't have no favorite part.
No favorite part? Was it
It
just-
was all dangerous.
All dangerous, all work, little play.
Well, you were in the Boy Scouts as a kid, right?
Yeah, I was in the Boy Scouts.
Yeah, tell us a little about that.
Well, at the Methodist Church, we had a Boy Scout team. All the Scout things, I got the Scout stuff up here.
Yeah.
My badges, I had 100 and something merit badges. We always go to camp a year at a time and so forth. And I became a Scout leader. And they sent me to Cimarron, New Mexico, to Philmont Scout Ranch for a whole summer.
The whole summer.
All summer.
How old were you?
15.
Okay.
What was that like, leaving your family? Had you left your house alone before?
No.
That was your first time
Yeah.
leaving on your own?
Yeah.
What was that like?
Well, the only thing I carried with me was a blanket that Dad made at the Champion Paper Fiber Company. Big, thick blanket, heavy as lead. And I just roll up in that thing, sleep on the ground or under my tent, and got to New Mexico at 12,000 feet, about froze to death. These other guys had sleeping bags. You see, warm, but I had a blanket.
Just a blanket.
And I rolled myself up in that thing.
That's
Well,
rough.
It's really, really amazing. When I got back home, my mama looked at me and said, "Are you my son?" Well, I said, "I used to be." She said, "What happened to your face?" I started growing a beard.
At 15?
And all these hairs came from 15. I didn't have no hairs when I went.
You became
Oh,
a
you
man
became
quick.
a man out in the mountain.
That's exactly what happened.
Good night.
I grew up real fast. Yeah, I can remember that.
Boy Scouts
Wow.
were tough back then, huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we go on a 3-day survival with nothing to eat except what you can catch. And so,
Alone?
alone, me and 2 other guys.
Well.
So, and they separated about 40 or 50 guys in different spots.
Okay.
Survival. Of course, I got my knife with me,
Mm-hmm.
and have to build a fire out of flint and steel.
Yeah.
And no food. So you got to find berries, so forth.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran a rainbow trout to death.
Ran him to death.
Yeah. Well, we put one guy. I saw him in the creek. We pitched my tent right next to the creek, so we'd have some water. And I saw that trout. I was on this side, and he's on that side. And we had a stick, and he'd run under this rock. He'd run it out, I'd run it out, back and forth 3 or 4 times. And he got out kind of in the middle, and just turned over. I picked him
You're
up.
kidding.
And we ate him. And then I killed a porcupine.
What'd you do with that?
Eat it. I've still got the quills up here, porcupine
No
quills.
way.
Yep.
You kept the quills.
Yep.
That's
To
incredible.
prove I'd ate that thing,
That's incredible. How'd you...
I killed it with a rock.
Big rock.
Yeah. He's in that tree. I got a rock. And then another thing we had to eat, I killed a blue jay, a bird, with a rock.
Well, that ain't much
So we ate pretty
protein.
good. Some of the other guys didn't have nothing to eat. They seen us eating all this meat, and we was doing pretty good.
That's not a lot of bites there,
did
that
you-
blue jay.
Did you cook the porcupine over fire?
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
That's the first thing you do is build your fire.
Yeah.
The night, though, was scary.
Predators?
Big time.
You said Wyoming?
Guys,
Wyoming?
No, New Mexico.
New Mexico.
Mexico.
Up in the mountains. We were at 12,000 feet. And the fire was kind of dwindling down. I feel one of the guys punched me. Chuck, wake up. What's the matter? Look across the creek. What do you see? I see 2 eyes. It's a lion. A big old lion looking at us, staring at us.
Oh my goodness.
I said, don't let that fire go out, boys, or we've had it. We're meat. So we built that fire back up. Finally, the lion left.
Mountain lion?
The mountain lion, yeah.
How far do you think that was from you sleeping?
The lion
Yeah.
across the creek,
20 feet?
maybe. Yeah,
That was crazy.
Yeah.
Mountain lion tear you up, son.
Big old tomcat.
Yeah.
Man, no pictures of the mountain lion, right?
Eating,
we,
whip out
You
his
didn't
camera.
kill him and eat him?
we didn't have such things as cameras.
Yeah.
Take out your phone and take a video.
All we got was memories.
Man. Can you still see it?
Oh yeah.
That's wild.
Yep.
I'd like to put a USB chip in your head and see.
No way.
Try to see it myself. You know
Don't
what I
like chips.
mean? Neuralink.
This is the banana chip. I'll eat them.
So that was your time in the Boy Scouts, huh?
Yeah.
That's
time
good.
in Boy Scouts.
Good stuff.
And I still got stuff.
So, did you have any girlfriends in high school?
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Any serious
I
ones?
probably
Or...
got a picture over here somewhere.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Sarah Lou.
Sarah Lou.
Yeah. We got close together about when I was a junior in school and I was going through high school.
Yeah. She lived close to you?
Oh, probably 3 or 4 miles away.
Oh yeah.
She was a Baptist and I was a Methodist. And she go to her church, I go to my church. But yeah, she was a good girl. When I got my driver's license, every Sunday afternoon I'd go by and pick her up. We'd drive around up in the mountains and so forth.
Go for a drive.
Go for a drive.
Joyriding. My parents would let me
No,
joyride with my girlfriend.
That sounds like nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
No, we was doing pretty good. We was behaving ourselves
All right.
Well, that's good.
as much as possible.
How old were you at the time?
Probably 16 or 17.
You didn't need your license to drive, did you?
Yeah, I had that license.
Oh, okay.
I got it right after I was 16. And
Did-
then, right after that, I started driving a school bus
Why?
in the morning and night and make some money. I made $1 a day.
You worked for the school?
Yeah, driving a school bus.
They hired a 17-year-old to drive the school bus.
Yeah,
Like picking
was-
up kids?
yeah, I was 16. Yeah,
Why didn't they have an adult do it? No one wanted to?
couldn't find no adult. This is all busy
You gotta
working.
be kidding me.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of the kids go buses.
That's insane.
No, I ain't saying
How much did you make on that job?
$1 a day.
That's not bad.
$1 a day.
Yeah, $1 a day.
It's not bad at all.
Did you have?
Parked the bus right across the road from my house. I get on early in the morning, about 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Drive my routes, get there by 8.
So,
And then in the afternoon, school was out. I go jump on the bus. All the kids jump on the bus, and I take all of them home. Park
so
my
you would
bus.
drive all your friends home to
Yeah.
and from school?
Yeah. I had a route.
I can't believe
We
that,
had
dude.
about
That's something.
8 or 10 buses for the whole school, and everybody had their own routes. Most of mine were up in the mountains, and the dirt road and so forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was it scary? How did you practice driving a school bus? How did you learn?
Just with driving.
It's 18 feet longer.
Well, yeah, this one was a 54 passenger.
How long are those,
Big.
generally? 20-footer?
7 or 8 windows, about 30 feet on this one.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, this one time,
Did you have a good record? No
Drove it.
wrecks?
so forth, and none on the bus.
Okay. Good.
But had to fill it up for fuel about every 2 or 3 days. Started filling it up. Something wrong with this thing. Man, I'm getting 2 miles a gallon. Should be getting 7 or 8. I said, something fishy going on here. So some other buses have been having some trouble too. So I get my 22 and I stay in the bus at night.
Mm-hmm. Someone's coming over with a siphon, weren't they?
They come in, pull their car in, get their hose out, and siphon that thing. Boy, when I stuck my 22 out the window, boy, they took off and never showed up again. That ended that deal.
Oh, man. Was it a rifle?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I got one in here just like it.
Wow.
Yeah, but the graduation day, the day after I graduated, some guys come through and said, "Hey Chuck, we're going to Detroit tomorrow to get a job. You want to go?"
Detroit?
Yeah, I'll go.
What?
Yeah. And so,
Did you need to ask your parents?
well, I didn't. I had the key to the car, and the next day, I drove it down to Champion, walked in, handed my dad the key. He said, "What's that for?" I said, "I'm going to Detroit to get me a job."
You Detroit, Michigan.
Detroit, Michigan, yeah. And Dad looked at me, He said, well, have a good day. Behave yourself. I said, okay, I'll send you a letter or something.
Was that normal?
Yeah.
Were you 17? How old were you?
I was 18 then.
18? So
Yeah.
you were out of school, you graduated.
Yeah,
So just after you graduated.
right after graduating.
And it wasn't because you necessarily needed a job, you just wanted to go work with your friends?
Well, my job on the farm, we did logging in the summertime
Okay.
with a team of horses. You go up the mountain, cut these trees down, and log them down with horses. And then I'd hoe corn and beans. Well, I was kind of tired of farming.
Yeah.
This is working in a factory.
Mm-hmm.
It was good pay back then,
Wages.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
$1.91 an hour. That's normally I get 10 cents an hour.
Wow.
Hoeing corn,
Yeah.
doing the farm work. So that was a big, big change.
Wow.
And I wanted to go to college, so I wanted to make some money. And so we drive into Detroit, going down right into the inner city of Detroit. Guys out in the middle of the road. Go over to us, says, you guys want a job? That's what we come here for. All right, you go to this place tomorrow at 9 o'clock, and they'll hire you. You marry bodies. I got a job there the next day, making Hudson Willis. You ever heard of that?
No.
Yeah, Willis turned into Jeep.
That's
Right there in
exactly right.
Toledo, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
And I was a welder.
Yeah,
Never
no
welded a
kidding.
day of my life, except on the farm. I did spot welding. They'd come through
Oh, man.
when they stamped them out with a big stamp,
Mm-hmm.
and the metal would split. And it was my job to cut out another piece of metal and stamp up in the split
Oh,
and
my
send them right on through.
I had no idea, Papaw, you were working on the cars
Assembly
up there in
line.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah, that's what I did.
How long were you there?
I was there for 2.5 months.
Wow.
Well, I worked there 4 weeks at Arrow Willis. They closed down. They had closed for remodeling every year.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went over a couple of blocks to Dodge, Maine. Got a job at Dodge, Maine. Doing spot welding work. And I stayed with a bunch of Polacks.
Yeah.
There was 5 or 6 of us men staying in the same house. You had to do your own cooking and everything. And so I got a job making $1.91 an hour.
This is such a good story, Papaw.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when I think of 1940s Detroit. That's what I think of, you know, just people showing up, looking for work, getting work, living with other immigrants, and
Well, after the
making
war,
good money.
everything was booming in America.
Yeah.
I mean, real time booming.
Yeah.
They couldn't find workers. They go out of town anywhere to find anybody to come work. Well, I worked there 4 weeks, and they closed down and change models.
That's what they do. That they still do that. They close down the lines to change out for the models every year.
So this was in August. I said, well, I'm not going to stay around another 4 weeks till they open back up. I'm going to go to college. So I left there and went to NC State College in Raleigh, North Carolina, studying mechanical engineering.
Mechanical engineering.
Yeah,
Man.
that's where I learned to draw. See, I drew the plans for the church that we built at Columbus.
Okay.
In my house, I drew all the plans
Wow.
for that.
You drew the plans.
I drew the plans for all that. Yep,
Man.
Wow.
yep.
So-
Sure did.
We're getting pretty far ahead. There was a story you told last night that I wanted you to tell again about you lived in Iowa, Washington County, Iowa.